Hello, everyone. Welcome into another episode of the Four Quarters podcast powered by Four Quarters Media. I'm your host, Tyler Bennett, here with you once again. This is part 2 of episode 5, closing out our Monday CCAA episode. Part number 1, which hopefully you listened to before this one, was with Conestoga Condors, Shaquille Gilgeous-Glasgow, and Alex Otziv. Touched on everything and anything Conestoga men's basketball, at what they thought of the 2019-2020 season and what lies ahead for the program. And in part 2, the reason why you've selected this one to listen to is with Olds College Broncos, Landon Parrington and Ben Nelson. It's a great chat with Landon and Ben. Full disclaimer right now, I made a blunder, if you will. Big error. You'll find out. I don't know what I was thinking, but you'll find out. Looked at the year that was for Landon and Ben and the Broncos. Didn't go their way. 1-20. Missed the playoffs in the ACAC. But we also looked at what they're excited for in the future with head coach Mike Stevens. And has really shone a light on the Broncos program and what they're building towards. And even with the season that was, it didn't go their way, the optimism and the belief that Landon and Ben both have in the system at Olds, in what the coaching staff is building towards, hasn't wavered. And they both want to leave a legacy at Olds College that lasts far beyond their time at the college. So having players like that on your team, on your roster, is a win for any coach. And for Mike Stevens, having two players of their caliber really embody that is huge. And they both took on big roles this past season. We looked at Ben and him stepping into a leadership role, essentially a big minute role as a first-year guard, which doesn't happen very often in the ACAC, let alone the CCAA for that matter. And we looked at Landon and his expanding role, taking on a veteran leadership role, plus shouldering a bulk of the production on offense. So we looked at how those roles changed for both players over the year, got some insight into what's ahead for the program, and really put a spotlight on their friendship and their team as a whole, what's like for them playing together, both having played high school basketball in Calgary. So it was a really fun chat start to finish. And again, big error on my part. I don't know what I was thinking. I knew one thing, typed another thing, and before we knew it, I was down a rabbit hole that lasted an hour before I figured out what I did. Apologies now to anybody at Olds College. I apologize. It was a humbling moment for sure. So I'll be on the lookout for that towards the end of the chat. But with that in mind, let's jump right in. Part 2 of episode 5 in season 2 of the Four Quarters podcast powered by Four Quarters Media with Olds College Broncos, Landon Parrington, and Ben Nelson. Enjoy. All right, so I'm now thrilled to be joined by Landon Parrington and Ben Nelson of the Olds College Broncos. Gentlemen, how are things on your end right now?
They're great, man. Can't complain right now.
Everything's going good here, too.
Everything's going good, Ben. We just talked about beforehand, you guys avoided the hailstorm, so that's good. If 2020 has anything else to throw at us, I don't know what else we can take. It's not even halfway through the year. We're only in June. And
it's been crazy.
That's the best way to put it. Shit's hit a fan, an absolute shitstorm.
Yeah.
But we're surviving, so I guess that's all right. Just off the top, before we get into it, I know, Landon, you're back in Saskatchewan. Ben, you're still in Calgary. What have you guys been doing just to keep busy with things starting to open up? Because Landon, start with you first. What have you been doing just in COVID, social distancing, self-isolation, just to keep busy and stay sane at this point?
I was pretty lucky to move back. It was in May April, when I moved back right from school. I was able to start working as soon as I got back.
Okay.
That's working 6 days a week, 10-hour days. So my weeks are kind of jammed up with work, and then after work I'll come home, hit the weights for an hour, 2 hours. Then lodge in over to my basketball court just down the street.
Okay.
Shoot hoops, play around, and then go for a run, and then that's a day in the life of me, man. I do that 6 days a week right now. So
every time people say they run, I can't do it. Like, I don't know why people. I don't know how people bring themselves to run. Hey, all the power to you. That's a lot of mental to run. I can't do it.
Yeah, I guess on top of that, and kind of keep sane with work. Golfing a lot too on the side. It's kind of a little side hobby I got. It's kind of about spending some time at my uncle's lake. A nice little cabin up there. Go up there and kind of isolate yourself and get off the grid. It's been good, man. Honestly, I can't really complain about the whole thing. I mean, the whole COVID thing sucks, but it's not like I've been lucky enough not to have it impact my life so much, I guess. So I've kind of adapted this way of life too. So I just kind of do what I need to do and go about my life. So
it's kind of nice now. It's put everything into perspective a bit, and it's given you time to, like you said, just relax, and shows you what's important in life, I guess. But Ben, what about you? What have you been doing? I know Calgary was hit a bit harder with COVID than some other places out west. So what's it been like for you since this started back when Rudy Gobert was the straw that broke everything in the sport world?
Well, I know, like, as soon as I got the green light to move home, I came home because I know things are closing Olds. But basically every day I try to go to the court near my house, put up shots. I'm doing workouts 4 times a week. A little bit of cardio on my own, but my trainer, the gym that I train at, it just recently opened up, so I get to go in there twice a week and work on my game. So that's nice to have that now, just to get some good cardio. Other than that, I just sort of put up shots every day, like an hour of shooting, and then work out 4 times a week. And then when I have time, I'll go see my friends, just hang out, just try and make the most of the situation.
Try and make it any sort of normal that it was beforehand. Just to try and bring anything back, just see people and get out of your house and not have to see the same 2, 3, 4 people all the time and get on each other's nerves. It's probably for the best for you and for them. They're probably just waiting for things to go back. So kids are out of the house, not with parents anymore, driving everybody insane. I think,
like, for me, I'm usually never home. Like, so my mom and like my sister are like, "Why are you here all the time?" And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to be here.
Wow. Doesn't want to be home with his family. That's that might get you in trouble a bit here.
I want to see my friends. No, my parents know I like to. I'm a social kid. They know I like to get out.
So you like to have more options than just the same 3 all the time. Okay, that makes more sense. I think if you would have started with that first and said, like, I'm social, but I don't want to be here, it's going to get you in trouble, I think, because we'll see. For you guys then, I guess, why Olds? What led you guys to end up being at Olds? Ben, we'll start with you first. First year guy, 30 minutes from Calgary, so it's close enough to home for you, but far enough away where you're away from everybody. You're not at home. You don't have to hang out with mom and sister and dad all the time. Why Olds for you?
For me, I just like what Coach Mike, what he pitched to me, it was an opportunity that, like, I knew I wouldn't get anywhere else. The amount of minutes I would get when I got there, the facility that we have to play ball in, and just how there's no distractions out there, so I can focus on my game, focus on school. They have a program that was interested in me, like with the business management and all that stuff. But just the way that Coach pitched it to me, it was something that I just couldn't refuse. It was too good of an opportunity to let go.
And then Landon, for you being second year guy now, just finished your second year out of Saskatchewan. You played your high school at Bishop O'Byrne in Calgary.
Yeah.
Why Olds for you? What led you to go there?
So originally Olds was really close to home for me. Like, I used to live in Calgary, so it was, like I said, a half-hour drive, nice and close to family. Like my brother, he's out in Ontario, so he's pretty far away. So I guess it's kind of nice to stay home to at least some of my family, right? But Olds just had an all-around good feel, I guess. I was, like Ben said, Mike was more than welcoming. He's able to make me feel at home. Had some good programs, like the program I'm taking. So I'm going into the agribusiness. It's a Bachelor of Science. And that plays kind of right into where I work.
Yeah, that's true.
It's an agricultural company, so that's another huge aspect. The facilities, like I think Olds has one of the top tier facilities there are in kind of the ACAC. There's definitely a couple other ones, but Olds is up there.
Yeah.
And the community too. I can say, like, I'm super involved in the community. Like I do like Special Olympics basketball. I coach a junior high team, and we got not sure we placed. That was pretty fun. I ref junior high games and everything, and go do extra activities when I can. So it was just, it's like a welcoming community, I guess. It's open. There's always people who are always going to wave at you and smile at you, and it's a good feel too. So
I guess with the small community, like it's what, 28,000 people, maybe not even that. Like it's.
I think it's smaller than that.
Is it smaller than that?
It's tiny.
Sure.
It's
Google let me down then.
It could be, but I'm not too sure.
I'm going to go on what you guys, because you guys have lived there. I visited once when I worked at SAIT. That was it. Did you guys ever cross paths playing high school basketball in Calgary? Did you guys ever play against each other?
No, because I was like a year old, and I went to Calgary too, right?
Yeah.
We were in like a different division, so we would never play HTA.
Our junior highs played against each other.
Maybe played in junior high, but
I know that when you were in grade 9, I was in grade 7, so we wouldn't have really met up.
Oh, there's a 2-year gap. Okay. I didn't know there was only 1 or 2. That makes more sense, and that sounds stupid then. That was a stupid question.
And then he always played like Genesis, and I played CY, and we'd always try and shit on Genesis because, CY was better, but,
Oh,
I'm sure Ben would have a different opinion than that.
It's Genesis all day.
You should get like an alumni game going of like past CY and Genesis players around your age groups and go 5-on-5 when this opens up and see, just kind of put some money where mouths are, see what happens.
Now you're talking. I like that.
I think it'd be tough. I think I was in Calgary for 2 years.
For sure.
I lived in Calgary for 2 years, and the basketball is a lot better than I think people realize it is. That'd be some good talent, I think.
Yeah, no, I definitely think Calgary's got it's a big source for talents. Kind of one of the reasons why we moved to Calgary from originally Saskatoon was for kind of like the better my brother and I's overall experience in basketball and stuff, right? Because you wouldn't get the same exposure and stuff out in Saskatoon and all that. So it was I definitely saw like the talent and the exposure and everything was way better. For sure.
Looking at this year for you guys, didn't go as well as I think you guys would have hoped. I would hope it went not that good. 1-20. I hate to bring it up again. I apologize in advance. Lone win came against Medicine Hat back in November. Just going to get your thoughts on how the season went. I guess, Ben, for you being a first year, making that jump from high school to college, bit of a slow start, injury to start to. Kind of what was the biggest difference for you making the jump from high school to college?
Overall, I think just the overall pressure and the speed of the game, because where I grew up playing, the talent up there was like, if you could play basketball, you're on the team. Like the league I was in, my school was always the powerhouse league, the powerhouse team. So it was definitely a huge jump skill-wise. Like I'm actually playing against grown men, actual basketball players. So I guess the speed and like the pressure was just something that I had to adjust to for sure. Like I saw it a bunch in club, but it was different because AAU basketball is not the same as regular basketball.
That's true.
So that was probably the hardest thing to adjust to because it was something new to me, something I wasn't used to. Okay.
And then for you, Landon, you took on more of a leadership role, production role. You increased your points per game by close to 7. Rebounding improved. What was the biggest challenge for you taking on a bigger role in year 2?
I think one of the biggest challenge was kind of taking a step back and having to utilize the team more. It wasn't I had to do a lot more. I guess I was I was more than willing to be involved with all those roles. But it was just probably the hardest thing was kind of always having to show up, right? Like I had to be there. I had to be the guy, first guy in the gym, last one to leave, be that model example. And, it was challenging at times, but it definitely helped me. It made me a better person because I think if you set standards higher and stuff, you aim to achieve that. And then if you reach that goal, you can strive past, right?
Yep.
I guess if the whole thing with season 2 was tough, like early on, like Ben kind of did too. I had a really bad ankle injury. And I've had bad ankles kind of my whole life, and they're just a constant fight. And that put me out for 6 weeks or something. So that was a tough one, but I had to come back. I couldn't just roll over and quit, right? I had a team looking up on me. I had guys looking up on me. I had to keep going about it. So.
And year end, I think, the record is what it is. I mean, like you said, you guys had injuries, younger players in different roles. It was a transition, I think, for a lot of people, adjusting to different roles, and like Ben, you making the jump to college from the high school level and trying to get your feet set under you. Because I mean, first couple of games were a bit rough. I know you were held scoreless in your first 2 games you played, so that's an adjustment as well. But then you guys cap it off the year. Ben, you were Olds College Male Rookie of the Year, and then Landon, you were the Impact Athlete of the Year for the basketball team. What did those awards or accolades mean to both of you guys when those were announced?
Go ahead, Ben.
Honestly, it was something really cool to like just hear my name being mentioned in that. Just being recognized for something that I did is something like everyone would say is a cool thing to happen to them. But just overall, like it just shows me that I'm having an impact on the team and like an impact in the program, which is what I wanted to do when I got there. I wanted to be able to make the program or help make the program something, just help it grow more.
Yeah.
I guess for on my side, it was rewarding to kind of see that people noticed everything I did. Like I said, next to any kind of student athlete knows, when you have school and being an athlete, it's pretty busy. So the fact that I squeezed in, like I said, kind of volunteering wherever I could, whoever it was, and people actually started to notice that, and then outside of the community, and then even that my team noticed that too. That if we show up to practice and Ben's having a bad day because his girlfriend broke up with him or something, or something silly like that, I'm there to say, hey Ben, it's all right, man. We're in the gym. We're having fun. We're doing what we love to do. So yeah, it was nice to see that people notice what I did. I guess that's always a nice thing.
There's a lot that goes into being a student athlete that I think a lot of people don't see. Like there's like you said, the community work, like the school work, the study halls, the hours you guys put in practice.
Sacrifices and everything.
There's a lot that goes into it. And then if your girlfriend breaks up with you, that's just another burden that you don't want to have on you.
That one hits. That one hits.
What was for Landon, for you? What were your first impressions of Ben when he came in to Olds? What did you see in him at practice?
So I guess kind of before he came to Olds, I knew about Ben.
Okay.
Like my dad and his dad would always talk, and then I knew him through club and everything. And then when I heard he was coming to Olds, I was pretty happy for it because I know he's a all around great kid. He's got a really good attitude, really good work ethic. Wasn't afraid to push out, do the dirty work, even when we're running lots of sprints and we're all tired. You kind of got to suck it up, right? And he's a talented player too. He's got a nice stroke. I can kind of rely on him where if I drive in and I get double teamed or something, I can easily kick it out and know that he's going to knock down a train, give me an assist on the stats, and then we're working out pretty well. So no, I was happy with him, and I'm even happier that he's coming back again this year. So.
And for Ben, for you, what was it like to play with Landon, having known about him before, then going to Olds and playing with a familiar name and a familiar face?
I think it was really fun to play with Landon because I've never really played with someone that's fast paced and that fights as much as him. And I like to play the game fast paced, and just knowing that I'm always gonna have Landon up the floor or down low, fighting for rebounds. It's reassuring because then, like, I know I have someone on the team that's on the same page at all times. And just having him in practice as a motivator and a fighter and a hard worker, it's good to have people that want it as much as you do. So probably the best part about playing with Landon.
Did he give you any rookie duties to do first year?
I got rookie duties from everyone. I was the baby on the team, so I'd do everything.
Any examples you can share that won't get anybody in trouble? Because that's the last thing we want to do.
I mean, I was always the one to carry in the jerseys. That's the one that was like the.
That's not so bad.
I got out of it sometimes. I was quick off the bus, but when they caught me bringing in the jerseys all the time, so.
Carrying jerseys isn't too bad, but I mean, if you live your life at that high pace and get off the bus first, and you're already inside before anybody else gets off, that's what you got to do. You got to find a way around it.
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing, Landon, to make the rookies do this year?
I guess I didn't really put it on a lot of people.
Okay.
Like I'd almost like all the jerseys and stuff. I'd wash all their jerseys, every week.
Okay.
That was just because I'd also like being at the college, right?
That's fair. Yeah.
But if I had to say something, maybe, getting like the ball rack before practice or something, or if I grab it before practice, I'm going to leave. Okay, you guys put it away. Like I said, I didn't really kind of want to know what word to say here without kind of sound like a terrible person.
Didn't really pick on him that much?
Yeah, like I didn't really I'd joke with him in practice and stuff and all that, and maybe kind of say, oh, you're a rookie,
Yeah.
Whatever, but no, like I wouldn't really maybe a ball rack or something, or
I think
fill my water bottle if I really need it or something. I don't know.
I think the hazing's a lot worse. The hazing's a lot worse in like hockey and everything else. Basketball is just kind of like, just grab the ball rack, fill a water bottle, and that's about it. Tie guys' shoes together in their locker, and away you go. Like, it's nothing near as bad as hockey, baseball, even football. You're not carrying a bunch of shoulder pads. I guess it's not that bad then.
And I'm not even sure kind of with
what
going on, like kind of how much hazings has changed. Like back in the day, probably you could do some things to your teammates that were.
Oh, we lost Ben.
Oh, doesn't know how to operate a computer. Eh?
Young kids these days in Zoom doesn't work well. Are we back? Well, we're back with the black screen.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
It kicked me out. I don't know why.
Young kids in Zoom doesn't go well. Looking ahead to next year then, with everything up in the air still, the OCAA's canceled fall sports. Out east has canceled fall sports. Nothing's come from the ACAC yet, which I think hopefully bodes well for that there may be a full season for you guys. Fingers crossed. What do you guys think's going to happen? I guess, Landon, we'll start with you first. Do you, with things opening up out west for you guys now and things trending in the right direction, do you see a full season? Do you see them going to a half season? What do you think's going to happen?
That's a tough one. I think about that every day because it kind of goes back and forth with like what's right, what's wrong to do with all this stuff going on. But I definitely think it may not be a full season, but I think there'll at least be a half, maybe like a 3/4 season sort of thing. Because I don't really think if they started late in the season, they can't really go late.
No.
Right? Like if you didn't start till Christmas time, you can't really go till midway through summer, right? Because
everybody's got to go home.
So it's we like say if school's online, which I think kind of regardless school might be online. We're kind of lucky at Olds to have smaller class sizes.
Okay.
So I mean, like that aids in kind of how we could go about. And then like I've heard talk that online classes, but then the facilities are open for athletes only because we need to train and stuff, right? But then you take training and everything, and then being kind of in close proximity and stuff, if you stick to all this COVID BS, which is what everyone's talking about now. So I don't think it'll be a full season, but it'll be a modified kind of half season, something like that. Which I mean, anything would be nice just to go and play ball again.
I think just get in.
Everyone's probably chasing or play whatever sport you want to play, right?
Any sort of competition, whether it's exhibition games in the fall and you play the season in the winter and like a shortened 10-game, 12-game season, and then have your provincials and hopefully nationals or something. I don't really know.
I'd even go back to Olds right now just so I can bust Ben up on the court.
Ooh, I like it. a little challenge of little. Who do you think would win a game of 1-on-1 between the two of you?
No, I think Landon got me. He has too many tricks in his bag. He pulls them out. It's like, where'd this come from?
It's that experience. It's that veteran presence he's got. Like you said, he's got more tricks up his sleeve that he's probably got tricks you don't even know about.
Yeah, exactly.
Hasn't even busted them out
Ben
yet.
hasn't seen half of it yet, man.
He'll post them out in practice I've never seen before. It's like, what? I didn't even know you could do this.
Yeah, although I was lucky to have, I don't know if Tyler, you know, my older brother Tanner. Like he was, he played at States, kind of bounced around to a couple other schools, but he was just an absolute monster in the post. And he taught me a bunch of moves and kind of say, if you do this and this, man, you can be a force. And it's just, I got a bang, right?
He played at State the full year I worked at with the Trojans.
Oh, nice.
So got to see quite a bit of what you're talking about. So
yeah,
I can see where you got some of the tricks from. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So I appreciate that, Ben. I live for the day until the day you beat me up with that.
It's a bold statement. Let's see. That's the motivation, Ben, in the summer. That's the motivation to work towards. Closed door 1-on-1s when you guys get back on campus. Got to put some own tricks in your bag now. So he's got a bunch. Take notes.
I'm working on it.
Got to play at that fast pace. Try to make him. Got to just try to shoot the lights out. That's all you got to do, and then just pull something that he's never seen before. It's over. Done. Can you dunk? Can you get up and dunk?
I like to say I can. They don't believe me. They don't believe me.
It's gonna happen once. I work in the OCAA right now. We have a kid who likes to say he can dunk too, and he bodied some guy in practice, like a big who was 6'7". It's the best thing you've ever seen. If you can pull that out once, be done. Game changer.
Confidence.
I have so many videos of me dunking, but they just like, oh, it's fake. It's not real. It's like, I have the videos.
Probably saying it's a 9-foot net. It's not 10.
I was just gonna say.
I heard that one.
Just bring out the little plastic Fisher Price net and just go to town. It's all about the camera angle.
It's all about the angle. A couple of those in our storage room, so maybe that's what he did. I'm not sure.
I'm telling you, it's all about the angle. If it's an 8-foot net, just put the camera on a lower angle and just make it look like it's 10. And it's all you got to do. It's all about angles.
Yeah.
Just on that, what's the focus for both of you guys in the off season? For Ben, you going into year 2 now, likely going to take on more of a leadership role. What's the focus for you going into the second season, whatever it's going to look like, to keep that progression going and build off what you had this year?
For me, my focus is just to not completely reinvent my game, but just bring the aspects that I know I have, make them more present, because everyone knows they can shoot. I relied a lot on that this season. So for next year, like, I know Coach wants me to be able to, because he knows what I'm capable of, and like I know what I'm capable of, and I just want to make that more of a bigger factor in my game, and then just expand into more of just an offensive player, try to bring in some defense, rebounding, just so that I can have an impact in the game, even if something's not going right. I have other aspects that I can fall back on, just to bring a more complete game, help the team out some more, and not be able to get shut down as easily because guys know what I'm going to rely on.
So reading between the lines, that means you want to dunk in the season.
I mean, it'd be nice to get one.
Does coach believe that you can dunk? Does he believe it?
I do not think he believes I can dunk.
That's what I was hoping you were getting at. Just trying to bring something that I haven't seen before, just out of the gym athleticism. But
yeah,
I guess time will tell. Landon, for you, what's the focus for you now in the summer to gear up for a third year and continue this progression that you've shown from year 1 to 2?
I want to keep pumping up my numbers too, and keep kind of wherever that comes into. Hit the weights room a lot, get bigger, get stronger, get more physical, increase my vertical even more, so I can bang out even more, I guess, and start banging out more, whatever. And kind of just better my mind, and then kind of rest and recover the body parts I need to do, right? In the summer, like if I have bad ankles, I can rehab them a lot more and not worry about, I got to heavy practice every night, and then games on the weekend where I got to tape up. I wear ankle tape every practice and every game. So I guess that's a nice thing, not to have tape on my legs every day.
That's true. Yeah.
not have my ankles waxed pretty much every practice.
That's tough.
So yeah, just kind of better myself and prepare myself for the upcoming season, and do what I can and help out guys too if they need.
You had a few questions that you said you wanted to touch on. So pull out your list before I go into. We've already touched on two of the three that came in on Instagram. We'll bring up the third one after yours. It's for Ben specifically. Sure he knows who it came from. So we'll go with your list first and see what you got up there.
Okay. So yeah, one of the first ones I have. My whole thing is, so say if there's a half season played, is it fair for the ACAC to take away a full year of eligibility? If you had 10 games in a regular 21 game season, you're getting shorted out of half season, right? So is it going to be Ben Nelson, 1.5 year rookie?
That's true.
And Landon Parrington, 2.5 year or whatever.
You can't do a half year, because then if you come back for, like, say your fifth year, you're at 4.5 years already. If you only play the first half of the semester, or you're going to play the second half. To me, if you don't have a full season, you can't charge a year of eligibility. It doesn't make any sense. And you can't do half a year, because you're going to run into that. Guys are at 4.5 years, and you're all of a sudden, I'm going to play my fifth year, but you can only play till Christmas. Then you're done. But I don't think you can charge a year of eligibility.
Yeah. So no, I heard speculation that if like nationals were held, regardless of how long the season was, that means it's going to count as a full year. Then I had a guy on our team, Bailey. He brought up the question, said, "Okay, well, did his last year count?" Because last year there was no nationals. Yeah. So you're going to go back and give us a year back, because that's if they go that route, then you're kind of being hypocritical, right?
I think they're backing themselves into a corner that I don't know if. So if they say nationals happens, it's a year of eligibility. But then you bring up the point of last year, you played the whole year but no nationals, so now your rationale for eligibility is completely out the window.
Even regardless of that, like some teams wouldn't have made nationals. You look at us, our record wasn't close to it. If you had flip it around and go 20-1, then that's a better record. Yeah. But it's still kind of the same thing, that if you're going to say that, well, then there's other stuff you should figure out first, right?
There are a lot of variables that go into play with it. I don't see how they can charge a year of eligibility for half a year. I think they've already said, I know the OUA has said, I think fall sports don't use a year this year. I think if anything comes back in the winter, I guess. I don't see how you can use a year. It doesn't make any sense, because it's just going to make it that much worse. Because if they say you use one, but then last year they don't. I don't know. And then what if you guys play a full year? Pac West plays a full year, because they're in the clear right now, I think, for the most part. Quebec is probably as bad as Ontario, but they've released their full schedule starting in October. So what if you have 3 of your conferences that play a full year, 2 that only play half? Then what do? Do you only use eligibility for 3 of your conferences and not for 2? I think it's too early for the OCAA and the ACAA to cancel sports. So you see U Sports, 3 of the 4 leagues did it all together at once. Everybody's on the same page in the AUS, OUA, Canada West. Fall sports are done. But now you have in the CCAA 2 leagues have canceled fall, 3 haven't yet. The message is entirely different for 2 leagues versus the other 3. I think they should have waited, and CCAA should have done it like U Sports did all at once, and you wouldn't have these issues. But I think conferences went too far ahead, went too early, and now we're in a corner that good luck getting out of.
Yeah. So maybe this will maybe the ACAC or other leagues will see that and or see this podcast and see that people are raising speculation. I guarantee other people are questioning that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to be, because you get 5 years to play college or U Sports ball. I mean, it's not fair to get gypped out, right?
Yeah, but I think if you guys go ahead with a full year, or Pac West goes ahead with a full year, and the CCAA will come out and say nobody loses a year, that's bonus for you guys. You guys get 6 years for price of 5, which is fantastic. But then, I don't know. It sucks for Ontario and out east who went too far ahead, in my opinion. But I get you got a plan. I get there's budgets and academics and a whole lot into it. Just have a consistent message and have everybody come out at the same time with the same thing to avoid any speculation, any dialogue that doesn't need to happen, because now everybody's at different stages right now. It's going to be a mess, I think, in the next 3 weeks. It's going to be an absolute mess. It
does seem a little early for everything to be announced, because it's only the start of June, the middle of June. The season wouldn't get started until October. Yep. And it's just a little early.
You guys are on the decline out west. The Manitoba and Saskatchewan, they've been low from the start. BC's been low. They just had 10 new cases last week, so that's a bit higher than usual. Out east has been quiet for God knows how long, yet they go and cancel sports first. I don't get it. It's a panic, I think, more than anything else. Just obviously health and safety comes first. I don't want that to be misconstrued in any way, but I think it's too premature to make a decision of that magnitude this early.
Yeah, no, I agree. I guess kind of moving on, bring another question up. One thing that me and my dad always talk about is, should there be an age restriction in ACAC or U Sports or something? I'm not sure if there's one in U Sports.
There is in football. I don't know if there is in basketball, though. I think if you have your years.
That's something I raise up, because I don't really care who you want to go play ball, you go play ball.
Yeah.
But I mean, someday you get guys that are 30. I've seen a guy 35 in ACAC.
Yeah, we had
2 years left, and
we had a guy pushing 40, I think, once in the OCAA up at Algonquin, I think. Yeah, it was. There's got to be an age. There's got to be an age limit, and I think if you go play pro somewhere, you shouldn't be able to come back and play.
Absolutely not.
There was a soccer player out here who played pro in Sweden, I think it was, and then came back and played. It's like you can't go play pro and then come back and play college. You can't go backwards. Doesn't make sense. But what would your age limit be then? What would you put it at?
See, I kind of tossed it up. I was thinking kind of that 26-ish ballpark. I think once you get past that, I mean, there's also do you want to be a guy who's, an older guy still playing college guy against a bunch of younger guys?
That's
or,
true.
Do you want to keep pushing your career farther? And if, some people's career comes to an end because their college is done, well, then you have your career, right? It's not, you can't live a hoop dream forever, right? You can still do.
Oh, there's a lot of people that still do. There's a lot of people that still never give that dream up. You see them at the YMCA every week, 100%.
Yeah, so I don't know, if that's, there's always basketball to do, but then it's kind of, maybe that's just their own preference and they want to keep trying to do that. But I mean, I wouldn't want to be an older guy still playing in a league, because I want to work and start my own business one day, or grow up and get rich and go lay on a beach or something, right?
Start a family and not be worrying about going on weekend road trips at 30, 35 with kids that could realistically be your kid's age. Like if you're 35 playing with kids that are 18 fresh out of high school, that could realistically be your kid, which is weird to me.
I think for me, I came in as a 17-year-old. I'm playing against like 28, 29-year-old. Like the ACAC, like from in the past, it was seen as like a development league for the young guys for them to take the next step. So I feel like having guys, like letting guys come in that are 30 and over, just because they want to hoop, like
so if they can still hack it with the young kids.
Yeah, it just doesn't make it as enjoyable for like a kid like me who's trying to go in there and develop and like be able to take that next step. And it's also not easy for a young kid like me to play up against a 35-year-old point guard.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Like I think like 27 maybe would be, because like you graduate high school at 17, 18 in that age. Like if you, I don't know, like 8-10 years max afterwards, that's it. Like 27, 28 at the latest. Like 30, 35, pushing 40, give it up. Just
so then it raises, say you took an age cap at say 28.
Yeah.
When you reach that 28, does that mean you're done, or does that mean that's when your years start ticking up?
That's when you're done. That's when your eligibility to play college or university basketball is done. Because you don't want to run into that, like you said, playing 30, 35-year-olds. And heaven forbid you're on that team and your minutes are getting eaten up by a 35-year-old with the never-dying hoop dream. Yet you're a first year. Those are minutes that you could have to develop. And some Joe Schmo who just doesn't want to give it up is taking your time. Like that wouldn't sit well with me. But I don't know.
Yeah, I guess kind of I guess Ben almost kind of touched on this too. But like what kind of league is the ACAC? You know, is it a developmental league? Is it an old man league? Because some teams got some old players, or is it still just an all around solid league? And it's just if it's you go to a college team, it's going to be a smaller class size. Maybe some guys are using that to, they don't want to go and go to a big university or something. Or I definitely think there's some aspects to where it is. It's the talent may not be as good, but I still think there's some damn good hoopers in the ACAC, man.
I think the ACAC's top to bottom probably second toughest league in the country. I think OCAA might be a bit tougher just in the West Division. But I think overall, you said the ACAC has a ton of talent that gets overlooked. I think
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I'd call it a development league. It is a tough league, top to bottom, and you see a lot of like JUCO guys come back up to play. I think it's similar to JUCO, I think, in a sense. You get a lot of those 2-year guys that want to make the jump to U Sports somewhere in the NCAA. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it other than it's a tough league that doesn't get the love it deserves, but I could say that for all 5 leagues in the CCAA, which is why we're doing this now, because put voices to the game that nobody ever hears. I'd say it's a vastly underrated league.
No, 100%.
I think I'll leave it at that. Talent-wise, it's there. People just got to go out and watch it once and just got to pay attention.
I think Alberta –
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think Alberta basketball as a whole just gets overlooked all the time. Like, there's recruiting services and stuff that will focus mainly on Ontario, Quebec, East
GTA,
Coast, because that's all they know. Yeah, they don't look at Western Canada when there are some really good hoopers out here, and they just don't get the recognition. Which is, as a kid in Western Canada who just wants to hoop, get my name out there, it's hard for me because you don't get the recognition, you don't get the looks that the kids out east are getting because they just not as much as been like emphasis out here.
You see it with the BioSteel all Canadian games every year.
Yep.
It's like 20 kids from Ontario or Quebec, one from probably BC, one from Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta combined, and maybe one or two from out east. And even then, that's like a best case scenario.
Yeah.
Nobody, like a lot of the services, they're GTA heavy. They're where they have access to. Like they don't look into it nearly as much as they should. And then you get a kid who will go play D1 from out west or out east, and all of a sudden it's the biggest deal in the world. Well, where was your coverage of this kid growing up? All the way through. Why wasn't he on your lists or anything? Because like you said, Alberta basketball alone is incredibly talented. And you said players like yourself that just want to get the name out there, 99% of the kids don't get the looks that they deserve.
Yep.
And even at the college level, I think the ACAC as a whole doesn't get the looks they deserve. There's a lot of there's no real national media, which is another issue that I could go on for days. But everything's so Ontario heavy in basketball in Canada. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yep.
Maybe that's where your podcast will come out of. You'll get a broadcast team out here, Tyler.
I'll do my best. Like I've there's ideas collected, but like it's just me. It's just me that does everything that I do. So it's tough trying to find as many hours you can in the day. Like it's tough, but I mean it's fun to put names and voices and faces out there that don't get looks, that should get looks. It's just trying to bring as much attention to the game because there's so many talented players from East Coast to West Coast that don't get attention. It's mind-boggling that you can't even get a score ticker on TV. Like just something as little as flashing your scores across TSN or Sportsnet on a weekly basis, even if it's the CCAA top 15, which are a joke, but that's fine. Just put those on the bottom. Like they do it for youth sports football. It's not hard to put scores on a screen. It really isn't. It gets people talking and paying attention to what's going on. Then you build from that. But you can't even get them on a website at a big media company. So I'm barking up the wrong tree, I guess. It's falling on deaf ears, and like their youth sports highlights were 30 seconds and 28 of it was Carleton. Like that's all you hear about is Carleton. Yeah. And Dalhousie led for the first half. Didn't see a thing about it.
Nope.
Only time you saw Dalhousie was when they were on the losing end of the final score. That was it. I don't know. I have a lot of opinions on that, but I'm going to save it for another day.
No, me and my dad talked about this a lot actually. How, like the lack of coverage out here, it doesn't make sense in the grand scheme.
It doesn't make an ounce of sense. But maybe one day in a perfect world we'll have CCAA coverage on a national media outlet. Probably not. Because
we can hope, though. We can hope.
We can dream. But with the way 2020's gone so far, I would not be surprised if it's on TV in October, scores, because this year has been absolutely all over the map. This is the year that it could happen. Anything can happen right now. It feels like
anything can happen.
Hailstorms in June in Calgary. There's
a tornado right by my house, actually.
There were 2 tornadoes in Ontario too, in like small town Ontario, where there's nothing around here. Tornadoes.
It's wild. It's wild.
This is the year we're going to have CCAA scores on TV. You can mark it down now. 2020 is the year that anything can happen. This is that year. What else is on your list? You got anything else?
No, we kind of answered some questions and stuff as we went along and talked about other stuff. So that kind of worked out some of the stuff I had, which is it was nice to get others' opinions, right? You know, me and my dad will go golf and then go hang out after and talk about all this stuff and go back and forth. And it's nice to hear, I guess, a different perspective and someone kind of, a different perspective, like I said. So.
It's different too because I'm so used to asking questions it's nice to have it reversed a bit. And my wife doesn't care about basketball, so having people to talk about that stuff with, oh, she loves it because I don't have to talk about it with her. She doesn't have to fake paying attention, fake like she cares just for 5 minutes of me rambling for no reason. One more that came in for Ben. What's it like being a first-year freshman tasked with heavy minutes in offensive production?
Sorry, my dogs are barking. I mean, it was crazy because I've never really been relied on as a player to put up points, be the guy. Even at my high school, unfortunately, I don't really want to talk about that situation though. It was definitely something new to me, but it felt good. It felt like I was being recognized as the player I am, the talent I have. Like it can be used for something. So it was definitely something that I had to get through my head that like they want me to do stuff instead of just like going out there and hooping. But being as young as I am, it was a shock at the same time because not everyone expects to go in their first year and be one of the guys that is relied upon to play and just try and put points on the board. It was cool. It was a cool experience, but it was definitely something that I had to get used to throughout the season.
It's definitely a big adjustment, like you said, going from whatever situation you had in high school to now being at college where you are one of the guys that people go to. Like if you have never been in those shoes before, that's tough. Like that's a big step. And you kind of saw it as the year went on. Like you said, people know you're a shooter. You drew some teams' top defenders because they knew what you could do. So I think that's a testament too to what you can do on the floor and the impact you can have on a game. I think if you draw tough defenders, whether they're 20, 30, 40 years old, whatever age the ACAC has in a year, I think that's a testament to what you can do and the respect that you've gained in the league in 1 year. I think that's a huge testament to what you've been able to do.
Yeah, and I've never really, because I guess out here you don't really meet the same team multiple times. Like where I was playing, we had a shorter season, not as many games. Like we would just go to tournament stuff, so guys wouldn't really know me. But at the same time, through AAU, they'd remember who I am. I'd never really draw the attention that I guess I drew with the defenders that I drew this year. So that was something that was tough because I'm used to not being as pressured and started as heavily as I was, having to have my guy chase me around. Like I never had someone actually chase me around like when I would try and get open.
What was it like the first time that you were trying to get open and you saw some guy just tailing you the entire way around? What was going through your mind?
Oh, I thought he was fouling me because like I didn't think you could be that close to someone for that long without fouling someone. I don't know. It was like I couldn't shake him and I was getting super frustrated. So when I would get my shot and I wasn't hitting, it was like nothing's going my way this game. Like it was extremely frustrating.
It just rattles you to no end, and then the shots don't fall, and then when it rains, it pours. And when a guy's tailing you for so long, like you can't shake him, and then you finally get a shot and it doesn't go. That's tough.
It was extremely tough.
What excites both of you guys for the future of Olds? Obviously, the goal is to get back to provincials, which is at Ambrose, I believe, this year. What's the goal? Like, what excites you guys about the future of Olds? Obviously, this year is in the past. 1-20 is no more. Records even 0-0 at this point. Fresh start. Landon, for you first, I guess, what excites you most about the future of the program and where you guys are headed?
I guess for the future of Olds, I kind of want to see, and for me myself, I kind of want to see Olds grow. And I definitely thought Olds, the Broncos kind of get underlooked, and like last year or the year before, the girls were the first team to win like national at Olds. It'd be cool to, within my years at Olds, to do something like that as well, and kind of be pioneers and grow the program and show people that it's a smaller school in a smaller town, and it may smell like horse crap or whatever lots of the time. whatever that is. But yeah, no, I want to see it grow. I'm always excited too because you never really know what's going to come within the year.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't look into a year and say, "Oh, this is going to happen," and things can change, right? And it's kind of like a blank canvas again. We can, especially next year coming, we don't have many guys returning. I think we only have a handful. I'm not sure the exact number.
Mm-hmm.
But then, yeah, if you get new guys coming in, you can kind of trim them how you want and do how that is. And I just want to see. Like I said, I want to make Olds kind of a bigger spot on the picture and grow what we can. And who knows, maybe 10, 15 years down the road, I'll come back and coach at Olds. And, who knows, and I can say, pull a Coach Carter and say, yeah, you guys don't know nothing. Look at my name up on the banner or something.
Write your own movie. That'd be something. I mean, what's for you, Ben, before we get into the next one, what excites you about the future with what you guys have going?
I'm really excited. Coach did some good recruiting. I don't know what I'm allowed to say about that, but Coach
probably nothing. He hasn't put out a thing yet. So
he's done some good recruiting. I'm excited for next year because we got some good talent coming in. Okay. And I think what Coach wants to do is definitely going to shock a lot of the teams. It's not something they're going to be prepared for, something they're used to. It's different, and it's really seems like it's going to be really exciting, really good play. I hope that if like guys like me and Landon we can help grow the program because in the grand scheme there's great coaching, the facilities are awesome. It's really the best place for a college athlete. There's no distractions. You can focus on your school, your sports. And yeah, there may not be a lot of things in Olds, but we have the program. Like I think we're getting a 4-year degree now, and I think Landon is taking that. But it's something that could really help the program grow in the future. And I'm excited to see what we're able to do as a team in the next few years, and what that can bring for the future of Olds.
You say there's not a lot in Olds. I mean, you guys got a Costco, right? So in Okotoks. So
we're not got Costco, man.
You don't have a Costco in Okotoks?
What's Costco? Is it Airdrie or Red Deer?
Oh, Google lied again. This is ridiculous. It was on a map. I'm not making this up. So you guys had a Costco.
I think one thing to be cool to see in Olds would be that Olds host a provincial or a national one year. Like I said, I think they have like great facilities. You can have one gym set up, or you could have a couple of gyms set up, and it could be quite a place to host something. That'd be something cool to see in my ears too.
Yeah. Also, the community, more support from the community, because unfortunately, Olds is really based on their Grizzlies, their hockey program. So I think if we can get more attention from the community at our games and support, that would help us tremendously. Because I think we have probably one of the biggest sets of bleachers in the whole league. We can fit a ton of people in our games. Just to see those filled one time, maybe once, it would be really exciting.
I think that's the thing that gets people to a game. They just need to see it once. Come out, see it once, see what it's all about, and then you'll come back again, second time, third time. You'll bring your friends. I think that's the biggest way that we can grow collegiate basketball in Canada is watch a game. Just physically see it with your own two eyes and see what happens.
Yep.
I think too it kind of works around too. Like, you get more people coming to a game. They're going to support that team a lot more too. I definitely think some schools are better off or have better funding or better programs and stuff than others. But I definitely think go to any school and they're all going to say, well, if we had more attendance, it's going to give us more money and more stuff to improve facilities or, kind of do whatever. And I think it's cheap entertainment too. I think, you take now, if you want to go to a movie or something, go to a theater, that's going to cost you like what, $40, $50 at least.
Yeah.
Whereas you want to go watch a basketball game for a couple hours, you at Olds, it's like $5, $10.
That's not bad.
For like a Saturday night entertainment or something, or and then you can kind of incorporate more stuff with it, right? And you get more guys coming to a game, you can do more fun half court stuff or grow the community and all that. So I think there's lots of stuff that kind of I don't know how to put it, but kind of banks on it. You get the ball, it's snowball effect. That's what it be.
Yeah. Just like then there's you have your in-game promotions that kind of make it even more valuable. Like you said, $5-10 for a family of 4. It's $40, $20-40, and the chance to go home with whatever giveaways are on any given night. Like the fact that you can pay that and go home with something, not just a empty bag of popcorn and half-ripped ticket stub. Like there's a lot of things that can go along with it. The trickle-down effect, the money into facilities and community support and whatever else. You just got to get into a gym and watch. I think that's the biggest way that you can grow it. That's the biggest thing you can do. And I figured out, too, why I said that you guys said 28,000 people. I looked up Okotoks instead of Olds.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
So it's been a rough day.
You said there's a Costco and Okotoks in one.
Yeah, I know. I Googled the wrong.
Wrong.
It's been yeah. So
So
I'll own up to my own mistake.
What did Google say
About Olds? How many people you guys have? Let me pull it back up. While I pull it up and correct my error that's lasted almost an hour that nobody noticed. You mentioned, Landon, maybe going back down the road to, who knows, you might coach at Olds at the end of the day, which is in Olds, by the way, not Okotoks. Just for those little geography majors out there that aren't me. What's the end goal for you? You mentioned like starting your own business, you mentioned going back and coaching one day. What's the end goal for Landon Parrington?
I think one big thing for me is kind of regardless of where I'm at in my life, whether that's doing like a certain type of job or having a company, I kind of just want to like make a difference and like be almost a pioneer, or at least kind of if I can wake up one day and then when I'm way older and wrinkly and all that, I can say, oh, I changed one guy's life or something. I motivated one kid to get out of a bad circumstance he was in and pursue his dreams or whatever, right? And whether that's like coaching, like I said, I had the chance to coach a junior high team this year. I think they were grade 7. It was definitely something completely different than I've ever seen, because I look back at myself when I was in grade 6, grade 7, and I was that little kid in the shoes who wanted to play, and I had guys who would come in and coach and sacrifice time and do all that. And then, I grow up and I have the chance to give back, right? And kind of see kind of what those kids want to do. And if I can teach them a couple of things and make them better, then I think I did a fairly good job, right? Whether that's basketball related in my future or not, I think it's definitely something I want to keep, involved in. When I'm done playing basketball or whatever, I'm not going to just hang up the ropes. I'll still have, it's something I've been doing since I was in like grade 4 or 5. So, it takes a lot of time and effort. So it's a part of me now, right?
Yeah.
But I just want to make a difference, do good in the world, and try and shed some light off the bad stuff that's out there, and realize that there's some people out there who actually want to do good and make a difference.
That's true. 9,100 people in Olds.
You were close.
Far cry from the 28,000 that I said were in Okotoks. So that's the TSN non-highlight of the night for sure. That's terrible, absolutely terrible. Ben, I guess for you, before we wrap up, you're only going into year 2, so still a lot of life and school ahead of you. What's the end goal for you as you work through school, basketball? What's your vision, I guess, end vision for your life?
For me, basketball is something that I always want to be a part of, whether that's playing, coaching, being part of do you know the program, the company North Pole Hoops?
Yep.
I guess doing something like that would be cool as well. Like I just want to be able to be involved in basketball, bring it to the community, help it grow, because I know in Canada there's still so many leaps and bounds that it can take, and I want, it would be cool to be a part of that, help it grow. The main goal, like obviously for everyone, is I want to play basketball, but that's not the most likely thing. So just being able to be a part of basketball is something that I always want to do, and that's really all I've ever thought about. Like I don't really have a plan B, because I just want to work towards being involved in basketball.
Okay, so basketball's got like plan like 1A, 1B, 1C, one through the alphabet,
Yeah.
plan B is not an option at this point. But maybe you could be the North Pole hoops that gets the West Coast the attention it deserves.
Me and my dad were actually talking about that a few weeks ago. Funny enough. So
might be could be an option for you. Could be a door.
Maybe this is when you give Ben an internship there, Tyler.
I can. Hey, like I'm working on some things too to get more people to cover, because I can only be in one city at a time. Yep. If there's ever ways we can get more people paying attention, by all means, we'll have to figure something out. Then we'll get some more West Coast coverage, so people don't think that Olds is in Okotoks. Apparently, that's an issue.
Even Ivy's number or something too, like that. You know, if we match something up, you know,
hey,
get a crew of guys that are kind of spread out in certain regions, and they all kind of, you know, do whatever, man. We should keep them the back burner.
Oh, it's on the front burner right now. The end goal is it's not perfect world. It's not going to happen. Get one person from every school. That's 112 schools covering their programs.
That's a lot of exposure. Yeah.
Covering all the programs. Use your students. Use your sport management students, journalism students, photography students. Builds them a portfolio. Gets coverage. It's a win-win all around. I think I just gave out too much of a secret already. Shit. That's fine. That's fine. No one, we'll see who pays attention. I'll send this to the Okotoks crowd instead of the Olds crowd and see what happens. Keep it a secret as much as we can. Can't believe that. I can't believe I did that. That's terrible. I'm not going to let myself live that down for a while.
I'll hold it over your head too next time. So
hey,
don't worry about it.
Whenever we do this again, which you guys can come on whenever you want.
Yep.
If it doesn't begin with Landon, I'm not an Okotoks, I'm an Olds, or something along those lines, any joke about it, end it right there. Because I would do the exact same thing. Hold it over everybody's head until they got the point.
I grew up in Okotoks, and I used to say, "Oh, Okotoks Olds, they're so similar, small town." No, it's really different.
Well, it started with O. I mean, it's and it ended with S. So I got 2 of 4, I guess.
They're on opposite ends of the city, but
that's fine. No one has to know. I can't save this any more than I can try.
I'm more shocked you know how to spell Okotoks over Olds, though, because Okotoks is a bigger word.
Oh yeah, Okotoks, of course. Come on, Olds. If you don't know how to spell Olds, there's a problem.
Well, obviously you may not have, because you typed.
Hey, I like to challenge myself.
Okotoks in Google.
I knew how to spell both. I just, I like to challenge myself with bigger names in Google. And I like to blame it on Google, but in reality, it was my own fault. So apologies to Google for saying they let me down. But they didn't even correct me to say that Olds College is not an Olds. It's just they just let me go on a tangent, and here we are. So apologies to Google for letting me down when I let myself down. So it's a humbling moment, that's for sure. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about? Shed light on Olds, what you guys got going on, basketball, personal life, anything that we've missed? Landon, anything on your list that we didn't hit? Ben, if you have a list that we don't know about that you want to bring up some stuff. We hit on the questions that you know who asked them, so
yep.
You can let him know that he can hear those. Anything
he
we
told
missed?
Me there was other ones.
Well, the other one was you guys playing together, and we kind of touched on that already, having you guys both playing together, and those were the 2.
He told me there was one about why I changed the color of the compression I wear. I'm like, well, no one's gonna know that. Like,
that wasn't coming in. But why did you change the color of the compression that you wear?
Well, like he always bugs me because I wear black compression under white shorts and white compression under black shorts.
Okay.
And I guess like there's not that's just something me and my friends have always done. It's like we just don't wear the same compression under our shorts.
Okay.
It's the thing we do. I thought everyone else did it, but I guess
no. People color coordinate that. They go black on black, white on white.
I hate that. I don't know why I hate that.
Like to stand out.
Me and my friends have always done it. And he always bugs me about it. I don't know why.
Okay.
I guess I got a question raised from that.
Okay.
The whole, and I guess maybe it's just ACAC, maybe it's all the leagues, I'm not too sure. Like having that, because in ACAC you're supposed to have, if you wear compression, it's got to be your jersey color, and it can't be like you can't wear tights and then knee pads or something. They got to be all incorporated. You can't wear a headband with a white Nike stripe on it because you're wearing a black jersey. And it's kind of like I had a funny time when I was in playing junior high ball or something.
Okay.
And I had knee pads on. I had some ref come up. He said, "Take those off. You're not Kobe." I'm going, okay, I guess it's kind of a weird thing to say to a kid. I was pretty young, but I'm not sure what people think. They think, "Oh yeah, you can't wear different colors." And then I don't know.
To me, I don't think it should matter as long as it's not offensive. Like, you should be able to wear whatever color you want.
We even had Mukhtar, our guy on our team. He couldn't wear the one set of shoes. They're what were they? LeBrons or something.
Yeah.
Where one was white and one was black, and they were the Black History Month editions or whatever. And the rest said you can't wear those shoes because they're different colors.
Yeah. That happened at Nationals too. I think Ian Tevis from State wore those, and he wasn't able to wear them. They told him to change his shoes. Like, why would you sell? You're not going to let them wear shoes that they sell, one black and white. Like, why?
Well, it's like, what does it really do though? It's not
exactly.
If a ref can't tell a guy he's on a certain team because of their shoe color, then that guy shouldn't be reffing.
Not paying attention.
He's not looking in the right area.
No. And different colored shoes don't give you any sort of advantage over anybody.
Not
they
at all.
Don't make you jump higher. They don't make you shoot better. Like, what is your point?
I live by the
that
phrase,
way for a reason. Wear the damn shoes.
Look good, feel good, play good.
There you go.
If you look good, you feel good, and you play good.
As long as you get the first two, that's fine. That's all anybody cares about. And then if you play good, it's even better. But so what did you do? Did you change your compression now, or do you still wear off colors?
Oh, I'm never gonna change it. He's always gonna bug me about it, but I'll never change it. It's just something that me and my friends have always done. It's just something that we do. And
so then, what happens if the jersey's not black or white? If it's like a third color for some reason, what do you wear then?
I'll figure out a thing to do. Because in high school for grade 10 and 11, my jerseys were gray and green. So
what did you wear with green then? Did you wear gray with green and then green
that was
with
when
gray?
That was when we were allowed to wear
whatever,
not compression pants. We were allowed to wear them.
Okay.
So I just sort of wore black with everything because it was the only pair I owned. But now I have to wear shorts, so I just have multiple colors, and no one's gonna tell me to take off my compression shorts because they're just gonna assume it's underwear, and they're not gonna make someone play without underwear.
There's going to be one ref out there at some point, that they're going to say no compression, and you're going to come back to this and be like, damn, that's my Okotoks and Olds.
I'll even kind of go along this kind of clothing or whatever line of stuff. So it'd be funny for the day where some guy ref came up to me and said, "Oh yeah, you can't play because of a tattoo you have or something." And said, "Oh yeah, your tattoo's not your jersey color, man. You can't play or cover it up."
They take it far.
Like some of the stuff, man. I'm just not sure what. It's baffling sometimes, man.
That's exactly what it is. That's the shoes. I don't get because that's how you show personality on the floor. Like that, you can't really, and especially again when they're sold that way. It's not like he's taking two pairs of shoes and wearing the left of one and right of the other. They're a pair. Move on, get over it.
I've done that before, but
you're gonna do it. It's gonna happen. But the fact that people call you out for wearing two different shoes that are sold as a pair, get over yourself. Check your ego at the door. You're official. Move on. Ref a game.
So many shoes. There's so many shoes that are sold. There's Kyrie's that came out that are multiple colors. There's old Kobe's that are multiple colors. You can't just a lot of kids don't bring two pairs of shoes to the game. They won't have another pair of shoes to wear. So
especially on a road game, at Nationals of all places, you're bringing maybe two pairs of shoes at most.
Yeah.
telling them to go change your shoes. You're going to have to fit into someone else's on your team that are probably 10 times too big,
and they might not have shoes either.
Exactly. Like you're taking them off the guy who doesn't play.
Maybe some of the refs are salty because they got to wear like plain black shoes.
I don't know how they wear some of those shoes. Like some of those guys are running in dress shoes.
And they wish they could wear those Gamma Blue Jordans because they look sick, and they got to wear black nurse shoes or something
with no creases. Like they never have a crease in it. Like they're always like shiny. I don't know how they get running shoes to be so shiny. Like it looks like they've never been worn until that game. Every time.
They have the best traction. They have better traction than our basketball shoes for some reason.
Yeah,
we can stop. We slip more than they do.
Mm-hmm. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I don't get officials. I think they're just a different breed. You have to be a different breed, I think, to be an official and to complain about shoes and compression sleeves and uniforms not matching. I don't know. I can't.
I learned this year that I'm an awful official, apparently.
Yeah, and then you guys officials get ripped apart, and I don't know. Did you find out from a parent or a player that you were a terrible official?
Found out from Landon. A parent told Landon that I need to stop reffing games.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So the story behind that, what was it, Christmas time? I think there was a junior high tournament at our school. So we have 3 gyms. Mm-hmm. We had 3 courts going all the time, and then I was coordinating with the other school I reffed at. The girl coordinating the tournament asked, "Do you have guys on your team who want to ref and stuff?" I'm going, "Yeah, sure. I don't want to make some money. I'll have some money to go out after."
Yeah.
So then I filled in a bunch of spots, and then the parent came to me after and said, "Yeah, that what's that guy's name?" I'm going, "Which one?" He said, "That one." Oh, it's Ben. He said, "Yeah, he's a terrible official." I said, yeah. He's used to getting called on and not actually making the calls, So I said, give him some slack.
It's different being on the other side, but
even for me, reffing junior high games, it's way different.
Uh-huh.
And even like even when I was younger, and some I moved away from, when you're young and you kind of get some sass with the ref.
Yep.
Because he makes a call, and then I had some kid give me sass, and I'm just like, man, I'm just calling the game. Like I can leave, and you guys cannot play.
Makes you think of every single time that you told a ref the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like I reffed hockey for a year, and it was the worst year of my life. Absolute terrible decision. But then like the amount of stuff I said playing hockey growing up, apologies to every official. My mouth moved faster than my feet did. Like it always went. And then you get it once from a parent. Yeah, no, again, different breed, and I wasn't that breed to be an official.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what would hurt more, like comments from a player, because if a player gives you a comment, you can kind of discipline him, right?
Yeah.
You can kind of give him the good old technical foul and tell him to zip it or you're out. Whereas with a parent, you can maybe kick him out of the gym, but he's just going to come back again. But I don't know.
It's always fun to toss a parent though, have that authority over someone who's potentially twice your age to kick someone out, to use the term kick a Karen out. It's always fun. It's always fun to kick a parent out. It's always good fun. But John, I really appreciate you guys doing this. It's a lot of fun to shed some light on Olds, which again, if you don't know, is an Olds. It's a new thing these days. Really appreciate you guys taking the time. Love the stories. A ton of fun. And anytime you want to do it again, make it happen. And I'll get the city right too, I promise.
Yeah, no, thanks. Thanks for having us both on. Thanks for, reaching out to Ben too. And then Ben reached out to me and saying, do you want to go do this podcast? And then, yeah, man, let's go. Let's go hang out and talk. And
just talk basketball, see where you end up.
Appreciate you inviting us on. And yeah, man.
Anytime.
Great.
Anytime you want to come on. Hopefully, Ben, we don't lose your Zoom next time. You don't cut out on us halfway through, and we get a full hour of it.
Yeah, we made some good time here. We made hour and a half almost. So.
Yeah, something like that. That's all right. It was good. But we'll do it again whenever you guys want. Let's set it up and see what happens.
Cool.